Hey, I'm catiewahwah and you're watching The Record Review. Hi guys, so I had a kind of surprise haul. I mentioned in my record store day haul video that I had another haul coming up really soon because it was a bit of a surprise to me. So I wanted to show you guys what I got because it's really cool. So basically my parents went to Paris for the weekend and they know that I'm a really big fan of yeah music, which is French 60s pop music. It's like a very specific point in time, but it's really cool and I love it, and it's really hard to find it on vinyl because a lot of the vinyl was originally in French and not that many people actually collected it in England, or not enough people, and now it's really popular. There's a great record label called Ace Records which re-releases the original yeah music on vinyl in like compilations, and I have a couple of those and they're really great, but like there's something about having the original that's really special. So I was just sitting and hanging out, and then my parents came back from Paris and they were like, oh, we got you all this vinyl from this random little Parisian vintage shop. And so they saw that there was a Françoise Hardy record and they asked, do you have any more? And he did. And so I'm gonna show you guys what they got me, and I'm really grateful and thank you. I'm so grateful, I'm so happy. I just wanted to show you. So they got me 4 Françoise Hardy EPs. The first one is the one with Oh Oh Cheri, and it's also got Je suis d'accord. It's also got one of the most famous songs that Françoise Hardy did that was called Tous les garçons et les filles. You'll know it if you hear it, probably. Tous les garçons et les filles de mon âge se promènent dans la rue de Bardot. Because I think it's been used in like adverts and stuff, and a bunch of these have been used in adverts, but they're just classics. And it's the original Disque Vogue record label. There's even the original price in francs, which kind of sucks that it was originally 9.63 francs. The next one they got me was another Françoise Hardy EP, and this is the one with Ton meilleur ami, On se plaît, La Fille avec toi, Il est tout pour moi. Again, you'd probably recognize them if you heard them, but they're really great. It's got like the original press that people were saying about her. Françoise Hardy is really interesting. She was 18 years old, I think, when she released her first records, and she just had this image of being this really cool Parisian girl who wandered around with her guitar slung over her back and just wrote cool songs. The truth of it was a bit different from that, but it's really interesting image that she had for herself, and a lot of yeah girls at that time were kind of inspired and interacted with her through that. The next one they got me was the Françoise Hardy EP. It's got Saurai-Je. This one is not as well known. I really like the songs, and 2 of the songs on this Françoise Hardy was the sole composer. And the last EP they got me from Françoise Hardy is this one, which is the one with Etonnez-Moi, Benoit, and that is really cool. This is a bit of a later one. I'm not sure if this was released in the 70s, but you can see that she's working more towards that 70s look with the longer hair, and it's not as like backcombed. You can also see the other records that were out at the time on that. And what I really like about this one is that inside there's the original catalogue of the other records that were available on Disque Vogue. So they had Nancy Sinatra EPs, Frank Sinatra, Bill Cosby. They have The Doors' Light My Fire EP, Dionne Warwick. Just so many people who were really cool who were around at that time. I really like seeing those original catalogue bits of who else was available at the time. So another thing that I like about all these EPs is that they are those original ones where you need the 45 converter to play them. They have a slightly larger hole in the middle. They're just cool. They still sound amazing, all of these, and they just have that warmth to them because they're a bit older. I think that they just fill the room, and it really suits this type of yeah music. So now that I know that it's possible to get these original yeah vinyl in Paris, I'm really seriously considering doing a bit of a pilgrimage there and trying to root around and find some more original stuff, because I've done things like looked on Discogs, and it's not very easy to find Françoise Hardy EPs or even other artists. The other 2 records that my parents got me in Paris are both by an artist called Sylvie Vartan, and she was actually married to Johnny Hallyday, who's another famous yeah artist, but who's a male yeah artist. And so the first one is Sylvie and Nashville, and so that's basically Sylvie Vartan singing country music from Nashville. I think pretty much all of the songs have been translated into French. There's a version of a song that was originally called My Whole World Is Falling Down, which they've translated into Si je chante. The cover art is really funny to me as well because it's like these things that French people would have thought of as being typically American. So there's the big 1 cent sign and then Walgreens. On the back there is just some really cool pictures of Sylvie Vartan, and she kind of looks a bit like Dusty Springfield to me in these pictures, but it's very cool. Let me just show you the actual vinyl for this. It's like in an old crinkly packet, and just beautiful. And then the final album that I got was also an LP, and also by Sylvie Vartan. And this is La Maritza. This is actually a 1968 album, so it's towards the end of the Yeah music. She looks very 60s in this picture. It's like that quintessential 60s look. And it's quite cool, but this is one of the things I like about Yeah music, was that it was quite cheeky in like an innocent way. So you kind of got her on the front and then like her legs follow around to the back. But it's a great album, this one, and again it has that real warmth to it that is something that I think a lot of people really like about vinyl, and that I think Yeah music has in the vinyl format. So that was really fun for me to get those, and it was a complete surprise. I am seriously considering just going to Paris and scouring a bunch of vintage shops and secondhand shops and just random shops and seeing if I can find more of these, because it's so worth it for these. They're so good. I don't know where I would find them though. They're kind of the ones that you don't find everywhere. You have to just stumble upon them sometimes, but I can make a concerted effort. Yeah music is one genre that I am really obsessed with trying to collect all of it, and it's gonna take a while, I reckon, but I want all of it. Like, I would love to have like some France Gall, especially some Brigitte Bardot, and just any of that. If you are interested in Yeah music, I can definitely recommend Françoise Hardy, Sylvie Vartan, France Gall, Brigitte Bardot. Maybe I'll put a list in the description of a bunch of major Yeah artists. And there's also a book called Yeah Girls by Jean-Emmanuel Deluxe, and I will put that also in the description, a link to that book, because it's really good. I have that, and it's really pretty as well, because he uses a lot of the original promotional materials, and it's also really well written and interesting, and he does translations of the songs. But Yeah music, I have an idea in my head that I really want to do, and it is a bit of a bigger project than anything I've done on this channel before, and it's going to take a while to figure it out. But please let me know if Yeah music is something that you are interested in, because that would help me figure out how to do what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know if that made any sense. If you are interested in knowing more about Yeah music, the history of it, and the major figures in it as a whole genre, then please let me know, because that will help. Also, if you would like me to review any of these EPs or LPs, I would love to. Just let me know specifically which one you would like. Although, as I said, I have kind of a bigger idea project that I'm working on, so if you could let me know specifically who you're interested in, that would also help me with that. And if you're stumbling across me for the first time and you kind of like what I do here, then be sure to click subscribe. I usually make videos about music on vinyl and do reviews and stuff. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye! Hey guys, I hope that you had a good record store day this year if you decided to go. I had a pretty successful trip